Hey phonies, Crazy Pretzel here, and welcome to my TNA Impact review of Thursday, May 3rd, 2012. Now, I know I'm a few days late with the review, but, hey, better late than never, right? And, this isn't going to be, hopefully not as long as my last week's video was of that review, but, because this show is actually a lot better than last week's, so, let's jump into it. So, we start the show off with Ric Flair coming to the ring, and, he's basically complaining to Hogan that he, didn't appreciate his treatment of Bischoff and that, he's tired of being Hogan's little pawn and his little game, etc. So then Hulk Hogan comes out and, at first it's a little bit of a confrontation between the grandpas. But, basically, Hogan wants Flair to be a judge on the whole gut check show that I kind of talked about last week, how it's they have, the random outside talent, and then there's the judges. Well, he wants Flair to be a judge. So, Flair, at first doesn't agree to it, but then he agrees to it. So, it was an okay promo. It was short enough, sweet enough that it didn't really, make you want to break the TV. So, our first match of the night, we got Gail Kim and Madison Rayne versus Velvet Sky and Brooke Tessmacher in a tag team match. It's a good matchup. I gave it a 3 out of 5, went a good 5 minutes. Your basic tag team match back and forth with Gail Kim and Madison dominating most of the match. They pretty much dominated Velvet Sky, and then Tessmacher got a tag in and, clean house for a bit until Gail Kim took over again. And then Tessmacher wound up pinning Gail Kim with the eat to feet, or the foot fetish, as CJ Styles once called it, which I did like that name, the foot fetish. So, Tessmacher wins with Gail Kim's own move. Third week in a row she's pinned the champion, so probably at the pay-per-view Gail Kim would probably go over, but that's my opinion. Anyway, moving on. We had the TNA television title. We had Devon versus Robbie T, a.k.a. Rob Terry. Not the biggest piece of shit match ever, but it really wasn't anything good. I gave it a 2 out of 5 to be generous. The only cool move, it wasn't like these guys worked a horrible match. It was just, it was slow. Devon did a headbutt off the top rope, which was kind of cool, but the finish of the match was Devon, retains by a DQ because Robbie E gets involved and he breaks a clipboard over Devon's head or something, and then he celebrates with the TV title. He's like, "This is gonna be mine again. This is gonna be mine again," and it's I don't understand why Rob Terry wasn't angry that this guy pretty much cost him the match. You know what I mean? I mean, Devon was kind of getting set up to win anyways, but still, he figured he would be just a little bit angry that, his other guy cost him the belt, because they're supposed to be, a team. So, I don't know. That's just my opinion. Next, we had Al Snow and Ric Flair backstage, and the third judge for the gut check thing is Bruce Pritchard. I'm not really 100% sure, what he did WWE-wise. I know he was a big backstage guy back then. Does backstage stuff too with TNA, but he's one of the judges. So they're discussing Alex Silva last week, who I said back last week I wasn't really too impressed with him. Basically, Al Snow and Bruce Pritchard were kind of agreeing, he should get a contract, and Flair was like, no way. He was pretty much saying what I was saying, he's too thin, he's not strong, doesn't seem like much of a threat, etc. So that was their discussion. The overall decision's going to be in a little bit when I get to it. Next, we had Jeff Hardy versus Rob Van Dam. I gave it 2.5 out of 5. The match started off pretty good, but then, it just, kind of ended. Bobby Roode came out, and he wanted to, cost Van Dam the match, but he wound up hitting Jeff Hardy instead. Pretty much, Van Dam threw Hardy, into the ropes, and the ref's back was turned, and then so Roode hits Hardy in the back with a belt. And then Van Dam hits a super kick and pins him. So, Van Dam wins. I would have rather had seen, I think it would have made more sense had, Alright, I'm back. I figured out why my camera keeps dying, the last couple weeks when I'm making a video and then it randomly stops. The reason it's doing that is because there's no time left on the camera, so I need to delete everything off there. So, anyway, I will finish this video within this time limit, fucking camera. Anyway, so I would have liked to have seen the Jeff Hardy Van Dam match end with Van Dam at least hitting a 5-star on Hardy for the victory. Or I would have liked to have seen Robert Roode, like, cost Rob Van Dam the match and have Hardy win. I feel like that could have, like, did more. So, I mean, RVD winning is okay, but you know what I mean. Next we had Bully Ray backstage, and then Joseph Parks interrupts him, and last week Bully Ray didn't give him the answers he was looking for, so he tries to kind of punk Joseph Parks out again. Joseph Parks didn't really have much of a say, like a comeback to it or something. He just, like, you know, basically Bully Ray threatens, you know, that, you know, just like your brother, you're gonna disappear, etc. Then we have Jeremy Borash backstage, kind of, you know, like, relishing in, like, what, you know, he did to Bischoff or something with the, you know, shit all over Bischoff last week. Then Bully Ray, like, you know, starts to do his thing and bully him around and makes him go to the ring. And basically, you know, keeps threatening him or something, and calling him a little bitch. And Austin Aries comes out and says, you know, he's not here for, you know, JB or anything, but he's here to, you know, he's here for Bully Ray. So then Bully Ray starts to, like, kind of punk him out a little bit, even spits in his face. And Aries, you know, starts punching him, and they slug it out a little bit. Then you get the officials to come out to break it up, and then Bully Ray kicks Aries in the, like, with a low blow, and then leaves the ring. So it was good stuff. I enjoyed this promo. So I actually like this Austin Aries Bully Ray feud. So I don't think it's going to be anything that takes Aries up to a world title match or anything, but I think Bully Ray could, I don't know. I feel like whoever wins this feud could benefit both of them, you know, and whoever loses it, it doesn't necessarily affect either of them. So we'll see what happens. Next we had Daniels, Kazarian, and Angle backstage. I don't like Kazarian's head being shaved. I'm used to him having his long hair. Like, I don't know, he kind of looks too much like Randy Orton nowadays. So, I don't know, too many haircuts in wrestling. Bobby Roode got one, Kazarian's got one. I don't know. Anyway, basically they're warming up for their match, for their 6-man tag match, and then Angle's like, you know, kind of pissed at him or something. He's like, we need to focus, you know, I need to focus on AJ Styles. So, for some reason at the pay-per-view, AJ Styles and Kurt Angle are wrestling each other, but I really don't get where the feud came from. Maybe last week or something, but last week didn't really seem like significant enough to have a feud, so I don't know why they're facing each other at the pay-per-view. It's not like it's a number 1 contenders match or anything, you know what I mean? Anywho, that's pretty much that. Then we have the 6-man tag, you know, Kazarian, Daniels, and Angle against AJ Styles, Magnus, and Samoa Joe. It was a good 6-man tag match, a lot of action. Like, the match started off with the 2 tag teams going at it, and then Angle and AJ going off in the ring. And there were some cool spots in this. There was one really cool spot where, like, Samoa Joe backdropped Daniels, like, over the top rope to the floor. And, like, they didn't show Daniels' face, like, hitting the steps. Like, he probably, you know, put his hands up to protect himself. But, like, you heard, like, this thud or something. So it sounded like he like, nailed the steps, like, face first on his way down. It, like, was awesome. So, even though you didn't get to see it, like, it sounded like it was awesome. So, really liked that. The finish of the matchup was, basically, like, Angle had AJ Styles in an ankle lock for a while. And was about to win it, and then Kazarian decided to blind tag himself into it. And then, Joe wound up, like, knocking Daniels and Angle off the apron, and then AJ, like, hit a Styles Clash on him and pinned Kazarian. So, those 3 guys win. And next week, we're gonna find out what, like, Kazarian and Daniels have over AJ, like, what his secret is. So, either they're gonna reveal it, or AJ is gonna have to reveal it himself. I really hope it's nothing, like, stupid for a storyline. You know, TNA's kind of notorious for doing stupid things with storylines, but I really hope it's not going to be nothing like, you know, AJ slept with Daniel's wife, or AJ robbed a bank, or AJ beat the shit out of, like, a 5-year-old kid or something, that they don't involve someone's sons or something. You know, AJ pissed on, like, a school or something. I just hope it's nothing stupid. I hope it's something that might make some sense or something, you know? I don't know. So we'll see what happens. Then we have the whole decision, is Alex Silva going to be on the Impact roster. Flair first, thumbs down, says no. Al Snow says yes. And then Bruce Pritchard basically gives Alex Silva 30 seconds to, state why he should get the contract. So then Alex Silva's kind of like, talking about, his, being poor and, rough road going to it. And Flair's like, kind of like not impressed. He's like, hey, talk to us. Don't talk, to the fans or whatever. So then, that pisses off Silva. So he has like this like fire, and it's actually a nice little promo. So it impressed Flair. So then Flair gave the thumbs up, because you have to have 2 out of the 3 judges. So he's got a contract, to my dismay, of course. But we'll see what happens. I'm willing to give him a chance, but so far, based off last week, I'm not seeing too much with him. But it was a short match, so I'm going to give him a chance. And then we have our main event, Bobby Roode versus Mr. Anderson. No disqualification, non-title matchup. Very good matchup, I thought. Gave it 3.5 out of 5. The match started off with some good brawling on the outside. Bobby Roode hit a nice Russian leg sweep, like he Russian leg sweep Anderson into the ring apron. And then Anderson picked up Roode and hit like that rolling front senton move on the floor, which was pretty sweet. And then it was back and forth after the commercial break. And the finish of the matchup was Jeff Hardy come out, and he comes out to try to, go after Roode. And he goes to check on Anderson, and like Anderson hits a mic check on him, because like I guess Anderson thought it was Roode. And Roode has a chair, and he like, nails Anderson with it, and then he hits a fisherman suplex pinning combination and pins him. So I think the move used to be called the payoff, but I think they stopped calling it that. So I don't know. Anywho, Bobby Roode wins the match fairly clean, which I liked. And basically, like after that, he like lays out Anderson and Hardy with a chair, and then Van Dam comes out, like first chases him off, and then Anderson's checking on Hardy, or Van Dam's checking on Hardy, and then Robert Roode comes up from behind him and clobbers him with a chair, and then DDTs him on the chair. So he's standing tall at the end of the show. Good heel stuff. So overall, Impact was very, very good this week. I was highly impressed with it compared to last week. Gonna give it a 3 out of 5, because all the matches they had were pretty good, except the Devon match was not very good. Take the TV title off him and don't have Robbie E versus Devon. I wonder if this Alex Silva guy's gonna win the television title. This is like the belt that like the guys in the company that you don't want to see wrestle will be champion or something. I don't know. So, end of video 1. Video 2 begins now. Video 2 of today is basically like, alright. Basically, it's a rant kind of on Beyonce. I don't think Beyonce is good looking, but I guess, like, I saw some stupid shit, like, People Magazine's like, oh, the most beautiful woman in the world is Beyonce. Please. She ain't the most beautiful woman in the world. She probably, like, paid them to say it, because the bitch doesn't have enough money or whatever. So, I decided that I would compile a list of 10 women that I think are more beautiful than Beyonce. And, I think I will display some images so long as Google doesn't take the video down. So, anyway, here's my list of 10 women that I think are more beautiful than Beyonce. Woman number 1, or I should say lady number 1, because just saying woman number 1 sounds kind of disrespectful, but whatever. Alright. Lucy Pinder. Christy Hemme, the awesome hot TNA ring announcer chick, former WWE diva. Christina Hendricks. Katy Perry. Christina Velvet Sky. Velvet Sky's always been hot to me. Trish Stratus. Always been hot. Always been a babe to me. Eve Torres. Again, very pretty. Scarlett Johansson. Wait, definitely hotter than Beyonce. And my favorite TNA knockout, Winter. Yeah. So all these women are like a lot prettier than Beyonce. Well, they're not a lot prettier, but it's like, I think that, you know, they're more prettier than Beyonce is. So it's like, you know, does Beyonce really deserve to be most beautiful woman in the world? No. Now, you guys can insert who you think is, or you can leave me a comment who you think deserves it. I really don't want to give an opinion, because, like, everyone's going to be like, you know, you really think that? Oh, you're wrong, you know. I don't want to have an argument. I just want to hear what you guys think. So, anyway, that's my Impact review. That's my little rant on Beyonce trying to control, you know, the world or whatever. She like, tries to make herself, like, you know, I don't know. Fuck her. And, I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.